You'll, okay. And we will turn the recording off when we get to the part of show and tell, so that if somebody wants to show their project but doesn't want to be seen, you can do that. So I'm Miss Babs. This is Helen.
Hello.
Helen is somebody you may have talked to if you had called on the phone, and she is been with me for 12 or 13 years now.
Yep.
And
So
yeah, and she's a very experienced knitter and knows my yarn inside and out. So okay, this is Third Thursday, and what we talk at 3, and what we talk about is what's going on for us here at the studio and what's going on in, just in general in the yarn world for us. And let's see, for those of you who got the newsletter today, and I would suppose most of you have, we are working on Lisa Ross's upcoming Secret Forest mystery knit along, and we have been making lots of sets. We had lots of sets ready to go, and we have more that we're working on, sets that are in the middle of being ready, but we need more main colorway, that sort of thing. So we're plugging away at this, and we'll show colors in a little bit.
Yeah.
And just so you know, we have seen the design, and it is different than some of the other designs. It's really nice. It's but it doesn't require as much contrast between the main color and the toes, the contrast color, for lack of a better word.
And the main color gets a big feature,
right?
So you definitely want to make sure that you like your main color.
Right.
Some of the past ones, the main color has been overpowered for most of the project by the contrasts, and so it's not been as important. But this one,
right? Yeah. So we have lots of show sets, but Lisa does have a 50% discount on her pattern on Ravelry and on her website. And that is through today.
Yes. And then I think after today, that same discount code gets a 25% discount for the next couple of days.
Right. And for the 3 previous mystery knit along patterns, which of course you can now see, she has a 25% discount for those. And we are also dyeing some of those other sets from Garden Variety, is in particular still a very popular set, and some of the other ones. I brought some of the older sets so that you could see those as well. Let's see. We are also in the midst of dyeing yarn for the final installment of the 2023 Inspired Adventures Tour. And for those of you who are tour members, you will have received an email asking you for a color choice. If you have not gotten that email, you need to contact us so we make sure to send that out to you. And if you have any address changes, you need to make sure to get those to us as well. This set will go out in September.
Yeah, probably towards the middle of the month.
Right.
Based on current toe making availability.
Right, exactly. And let's see. Also, on top of everything else we're dyeing, is that we're in the midst of finalizing the colors for the festive sets. And festive sets will be available for purchase, the pre-order, on the 31st of August. We expect to have 3 different colorways. One is a very definite true fade. The others are fades, but not a fade from 1 to 25. They're sort of partial and then partial. So,
And as always, we'll show some samples on the product page, but we'll have a link that you can click through if you want to see what it all looks like laid out, so that
right,
you can know for sure if you're going to like it or not.
right. And we'll be doing it on 2-ply Avon. And this year, we're going to be doing a half set using Yowza Minis. Well, half Yowza Minis.
Right.
So there'll be 100-yard skeins of Yowza DK. So,
Yeah, we like to complicate things for ourselves.
right, exactly.
Why keep it simple when you can add extra options?
Because we like options. And so, and then we're also getting ready for shows. DFW is coming in the middle of next month, and Fiberspace Trunk Show will be a little bit after that.
Yeah, and then there's always Rhinebeck.
Yep. So I'm gonna show you some colors from the Secret Forest. This is her set, and it uses these colors and bittersweet chocolate. So really very nice. And then, of course, we all have different favorites.
This one I love. It's really subtle, a set of bluey greeny braid colors with oxidized silver. So it's going to be a really quiet, subtle shawl, but quite striking, I think. This is the Miles to Go set with oxidized silver.
Yeah. And, oh yeah, we can put those.
Otherwise, we'll end up with our normal massive
right
pile.
This is a set that I also really like.
Yes.
The colors of. This is Sunlit Glade, and I love the purple and the green and to red. So it's
all the best colors.
Yeah. Yep. And then the other one that I love is sold out, and
Yes.
we don't have, and it's
Winter Hush.
Yeah, Winter Hush.
All the shades of purples.
Right. So that one is all the way sold out, and all that we have has shipped. Of course, they have undyed. I mean, they have dyed.
Yeah, they're working on that one now.
Right. Exactly. So that's plugging away.
There's a set that we stole flat out from one of Lisa's test knitters. Hi, Judith. I just saw you come in. We really liked your set, so we knocked it off. This is the Majestic Forest with sempervirens. So it's nice autumnal colors for a striking shawl.
Yeah, that one is really nice. And okay, so this is Secret Forest
with an alternate main color.
Because not everyone likes brown. This is pitch, which is a gray, a nice gray. And so that works for that.
And then we have Yonder Valley, Yonder something. What is it?
Yonder Valley.
Yonder Valley.
And there's,
yep.
So it's that set. So one of the things to know is that if for some reason you don't like the main color, this color, we can switch but you need to let us know. That's all.
Or if you have it, I had someone today who said, I already have Franklin. Can I just buy the set? And I said, absolutely no problem. But you will want to call or email us so we can set that up for you.
Right.
And we don't have to do then a refund. You can just not
Right.
pay for it in the first place.
Right. So there's that. And I brought some sets from previous years. This has always been one of my favorite sets. This is Azalea Ridge, and it uses Quicksilver. And I don't know. I love purple. I love green. That's, what can I say?
Yeah.
And then there's Cloud Valley, which uses Eternity and is purples to blues.
And this is another one. I think a test knitter used this and it turned out beautifully.
Yeah. So, and then another one that I know people are like, I'm not sure, but when we've seen anything knit with this combination of colors, it has been
so striking.
Yeah.
And beautiful.
So this is Canyon Shadows with Tulipa as the main color.
And that's one of my favorite things about these knit alongs is seeing all of the projects knit up. And
right.
It's fun to pull the colors, it's fun to make new sets, but you're never quite sure how it's going to look knit up. So I always love after the knit along ends when I can scroll through printed projects and go, oh my goodness, that's so amazing.
And people are
making their own.
Yeah, they're making their own. They're using stuff they have in stash and they're supplementing, or they're pulling individual toes and doing it that way. And so, does anybody have any questions about anything?
Judith says I helped with her color selection, so I get a little bit of credit for that one.
Yes.
I have a festive question, and I had understood at some point that there might be an option to not have wrapping for the festive. Do we know the status of that at this point?
Yeah, that's still the plan. There will be optional wrapping, and we won't have included notions in the kit this year, but there will be an optional add-on of a travel notions tin if you want. So there will be, like I said, we like to complicate our lives. Very many different options.
Yeah.
Of configurations for festive.
But yes, we definitely heard the request about not including the wrapping on the mini skeins.
Well, I do appreciate it being an option still to have wrapping, but also an option to not have wrapping. So thank you so much for that.
No problem.
Absolutely.
I don't have a question. I just want to let you know that I am a huge fan for many years, but I broke my wrist.
Oh.
So I'm only here to live vicariously through you people.
Absolutely.
Thank you for a great product. Everything I knit with Miss Babs turns out beautifully.
Thank you. Thank you. Boy, that's a tough, and it'll take a little while for all of that to work its way through the healing.
I told the orthopedist that I do knit, and he made sure that I will have full range of motion and dexterity.
Good.
So hopefully it'll heal and I'll be back.
Good.
Yes.
Oh.
Thank you, Jackie. Jackie says she loves ordering from us.
Good. Thank you. Yeah, we when we get into the fall, we're less chatty, I think, because we're just rolling as hard as we can, and things have gotten very busy in the last few weeks as we get ready for this and shows, and all of that, and we get, sort of head nose to the grindstone kind of thing. So,
We're never not busy, but there is a bit less busy in the middle of summer,
right,
just because of the way shows and projects and things work
Right.
out.
right.
I don't want to give anything away, but I did test Knit Lisa Shaw, as Helen said. I think this is the best one yet. And I've actually got another set coming through Lisa.
Oh,
Yes. I didn't get it in the mail today, Judith. The day got away from me, but I'll get it out tomorrow.
Okay, it's not like I don't have anything to knit, Helen,
I appreciate it.
but it's a wonderful, it's the best one yet, I swear.
Yeah, it's different and I really like it. I like the difference.
Yeah. So, let's see, what else is going on? So, I know. One of the other things that we're getting ready for is bringing on a new sport weight, which will be coming, which will be going,
Mid-September.
yeah, it is like the 11th or the 12th
I
or
think the
the,
newsletter is the 14th, so it'll be
14th.
online earlier that week.
right. So it is something we're very happy about. We really like it. It really does nicely in textured knitting. It's
But it does great for lace too. I mean, it's, all the things that we loved about Yummy Three Ply, this new yarn
right,
is very, very much there as well.
right,
We've had really positive response from all the designers and sample knitters who
Right.
we've sent it out to.
yeah. So that will be coming as well. And, it will, one of the other things that we like about it is that it does knit in combination with other dyers yarns, specifically Spin Cycle.
Yeah, Lynn used the Spin Cycle and the new yarn in a pressed flowers cowl, and it turned out really nicely.
Yeah. So that was one of our goals with it as well. So, Helen is we're going to do technique corner, and Helen's going to talk about bind offs and different kinds of bind offs and why you would do different bind offs. And she is not going to actually,
Yeah, this is a theoretical technique corner rather than a demonstration because we're not really set up for that. I'm sure like most of you, I default to the same bind off, which is you knit 2 stitches, you pull the first one over the second, knit another one, pull the first one over the second, on down the line. But there are times when it's nice to have other options in your arsenal, and there are so many different options out there. So I just thought of a couple of reasons why you might pick a different bind off to normal. And then looked for some different options. There are some great books, there are websites, there are a lot of resources. So this is just a little capsule lesson, I guess, or something. So if you're looking for extra stretch, the normal bind off is not going to be your best option. For shawls where you have a lacy border and you really want to block it out nicely, for sock cuffs, for hat ribbing if you're knitting top down, those are times when you might want extra stretch. And there are, as always, many options. Jenny's surprisingly stretchy bind off is a great one, especially for socks. There's the tubular or Italian cast off, which does nice things for ribbing and makes it look like there is no cast off, essentially. It just looks like the rib stops. There's the suspended bind off, which I tried recently. It's always fun to try new things. And there's a little extra twist in that one that adds some extra stretch as well.
did you like it?
I did. It's not one I would probably use on my own. My go-to stretchy bind off is the one that we're using in Beachy Keen, which is knit two together through the back loop, and then just keep knitting one and knitting together across.
Right.
It's easy. It's pretty mindless. Julie says her favorite is the Icelandic bind off. So there's another option.
What's a Icelandic?
Do you know, I think it's another one that I've done for a particular project when it's called for, but I can't recall offhand. Julie, if you want to pitch in, feel free, or maybe later when we're off the.
I'll try to go grab, I'll go grab something that I've done it on and then I'll show it to you.
Fabulous.
Okay.
There are design details you can add with the bind off. Pico is nice where you're adding that little loopy bit.
And adding a bead at the end of the
Yes.
Pico is something that can be done.
Yep, and with Pico, you can do short ones, which I see a lot, or you can do longer Picos, and Feringi by Angela Tong is one that makes use of pretty long Pico
Right.
edges there. Judith likes Lucy Neatby's bind off, which is another one that I've not really heard of or tried, so I'll have to make a note of that and play with it. You can do an I-cord along the edge, which I did in a cowl pattern recently, just because I wanted a very solid, sturdy. It's actually not terribly sturdy, but it looks like it is, and that's what I was going for.
I think that also gives sort of a very even
Yes,
bind
Yeah.
off.
yeah, and it looks finished.
Right.
There's a 2-color cast off where you do a normal cast off, but introduce a second color to make kind of a Latvian braid look along the edge. So that can be fun. And then if you're looking for stability, you can do something like a crochet chain bind off that really will make that edge firm. So if you're doing a bottom up sweater and you want a really nice neckline bind off, the crochet chain kind of bind off is one that I might use there. If I don't want the sagging that sometimes comes. So that was my very small prepared section from half an hour ago when we thought, oh shoot, we don't have a technique. What can we throw together very quickly?
Yeah. So the bind off for Melanie Berg's the
Beachy Keen.
Beachy Keen, which I am at the point almost of switching to the second main color, but it is, you knit 2 through the back loop and it comes over, and then you
Knit one more and then knit that together with the one that you just knit
Right.
together
right
across. Yeah, that's my go-to stretchy bind off
Right.
usually.
So
And you'll see it on a lot of different shawls to give that extra blocking ability
Right.
to the edge. If you want to do a normal bind off and have it extra stretchy, you can use a needle size that's significantly larger than the needle you knit the project with. So that's something else I do. I have like a size 9 or 10 needle that sits, it's a DPN, and it just sits in the cup near my knitting area. And if I'm binding off and I
Right.
want it normal bind off, but a bit stretchy, I'll use that.
So what colors?
Yeah, what colors are you using for your Beachy Keen, Babs?
It is the shaved ice set. So this is, the background is Quicksilver, and then the shaved ice set is this. So and you basically, I started here and I went through this, and then you go this way and back this way as you go through the colors. So Julie, I think is
Yes,
ready.
Julie has something to show us. Let's see if we can.
Okay, so this is the Icelandic bind off, and on the edge, it's very, it really just looks like part of the knitting, and it's a little bit firm and doesn't have a whole lot of stretch, but just a little bit. And I love it on the edges of shawls because it just is such a neat, smooth, clean edge.
Wow.
I don't know, you can see it very well. And it's really pretty easy and fast to do. You like go through, you'll have two stitches on the left needle. You knit one and you put it back over there, and then you go through it as if to purl and catch the stitch on the other one, and then pull the yarn through like a little V that it makes. But it's really pretty fast, and I just think it makes a really tidy,
It is.
nice edge.
So when I am trying to figure out something new, I go to YouTube.
Oh, absolutely.
It's my favorite,
Absolutely.
and figure out where you got to go back
Right,
and
a little bit to watch 3
Right.
times.
right or more.
more.
And it just makes a difference. But that's lovely, Julie.
I can't imagine learning how, I wouldn't be where I am like as a knitter without YouTube, because I didn't have a I had some early days, somebody that helped me in some classes, but she's moved far away. And so I'm pretty much self-taught through YouTube and other kinds of online sources. But I can't imagine like what my grandmother, just like learning from all you could know was the people around you, what they knew, or from
Right.
a book, which is just not really the best way to learn.
Well, and I can remember getting the Vogue knitting magazine, and it's like there were not enough instructions. Repeat.
Got some books, and sometimes if I've done it before, I can look at that and go, "Oh yeah, I remember how that one goes." But sometimes I still have to go back and find my video that I've liked on YouTube and,
Right.
and go with those. But it's become one of my favorite bind off edges for a shawl.
Yeah, made a note and
So-
definitely gonna play with that.
Yeah, I'm gonna try it as well, for sure. So,
Thanks,
thank you,
Julie.
Julie. Appreciate it.
And that is Miss Bab's yarn, by the way.
Okay.
Maria says she also learned to knit using YouTube with yearning, and her first project was lace because she figured why not dive into what she wanted to make.
Right, exactly.
Good for you, Maria.
Yeah, I've run into a number of people who decided to try hard projects to start with. And oh, somebody's a graduate of YouTube University. Yep. So,
I always think it's great to start with what you actually want to make. And then you're learning everything together and you don't get that mental block of, oh, I can't do X. My younger sister is a knitter, and for years she would not do cables. And I said, Annie, cables are not hard. You're just moving stitches around. It's really, try it. You'll enjoy it. You like the things it'll make. She wouldn't do it. Then she did it. And she said, is that it? And I said, yes, that's what I've been telling you.
yeah, you're still knitting and purling, and you're still, you're just moving them around. So, oh, Lordy.
Okay, I think that's
That's probably
we've
about all.
prepared.
Yeah, that's about all we have until we go to um show and tell.
Yeah.
Jill wants to know
what bind off do we recommend for socks? She wants a tight bind off, but not too tight. Jenny's surprisingly stretchy bind off is a good one for socks, I think.
and Jenny spells her name Jeni.
Okay.
So,
And that should be in a nitty tutorial, although I'm sure there are many videos out there. Years and years ago, I knit all my socks toe up, so I should have a good answer, but it's been like 15 years that I haven't done it, so I can't.
and I knit all of my socks top
Top
down.
down.
So,
But we can put that out on the Ravelry group and see if anyone had some thoughts there, and on the Facebook group too, perhaps. And if I get any good suggestions, Jill, I'll pass them back to you. All right, so we're gonna turn off the recording now, and then if we figure out where that is again, and then